Okie dokie, we're back again in Backpack Battles. Let's go and jump some ranked games with a random character and see what we're gonna get today. And it looks like we are playing the Reaper. I was gonna say Ranger. Play the Reaper. We do start off with a relic case as well as our leather boots. So do we want to keep the leather boots? You know what? I definitely do. But I want to grab ourselves this broom. Grab ourselves this too, but maybe not craft up Shepherd's Crook. Grab all these items. Grab the stone too. I'm gonna waste one gold rolling looking for this hero sword. And I'm going to sell our healing herbs as mad as it is with a stone to go ahead and craft up this hero sword. And with that, this is going to be round one. I do like this setup because with our boots, we're going to get that little bit of extra damage. We're going to get that tiny bit of block. And we're also going to get a tiny bit of accuracy. So this should be really awesome round one for us. And hell yeah, not looking too bad. Going to begin this venture. Smashing. We get a hero sword. And we can try to grab ourselves a steel gourd if we want to, but let's go ahead and grab you. Amulet feasting, maybe not the best amulet we could have gotten right now, but let's grab our storage. Let's grab usage on sale and let's roll once. I was going to open for a single food item right now. Well, let's go ahead and grab ourselves this stone also. Well, let's move on once again. Amulet steel, I was really hoping for pretty much any other amulet, but I can't complain with amulet feasting until we get some food items. I mean, we could try to go for cheesy Goobert's Reaper action. Stack up a bunch of random buffs. That could seem like a lot of fun, a lot of max life as well. But we could also go for maybe like a carrot Goobert into lifesteal. That's also a lot of scaling damage and a ton of striability. And actually, we're taking on this Pyromancer. Not too much of a problem. And hell yeah. Not bad. So with Amulet feasting, we could literally go spicy banana here. I think I'm going to take it. Let's take our spicy banana. Eye lamp is crazy insane. We're going to grab the banana and we're going to grab you since you're going to give us another food item, and we could grab ourselves a strong pestilence flask if we want to. I think we do kind of want to grab ourselves a second banana. So I'm going to sell you and I will be taking it, and with that I'm going to be venturing on with this sort of setup. So spicy banana to give us our heals. We're going to scale up our damage on our broom as much as possible, and with our Amulet feasting we should be able to speed up our banana quite a lot faster. We should be able to get our heals with our stamina consumption too, so this could be kind of fun as well. And I'm hoping to maybe stack up maybe a bunch of chili gooberts into Falcon Blade. I think that could be possibly amazing if we manage to get some chilies. It really depends on which food items we're going to grab. But so far, looking like we're going to smash out in hell yeah. Now that's another pair of leather boots. There is something we could try to go for with leather boots, and that is stacking up a bunch of block pots, because block pots do actually consume a lot of our life, and with that we could drop below that 7% HP and get our boots to pop off immediately. That's one way we could do this as well. How about grab a storage? That's also freaking Ribsaw Blade. Maybe we should pivot into Ribsaw Blade for now. I mean, it makes a lot more sense. It's going to do a lot more damage, it's going to use up more stamina. I think that's going to be incredibly fantastic for us, and I'm not going to take these leather boots. We're going to move on. So now we have an increased chance to get more heat by having 2 bananas in. Takes up a lot more storage, but stacking up the heat is exactly what we want. Because the relic case with this as well is insane, because every bit of heat speeds up a relic case effect, which does decrease your stamina cost as well as scale up that damage to an amazing Ribsaw Blade. Definitely putting in some work for us right now. Now, I do want to grab a bit of storage. I'm tempted to grab a deck of cards, mainly just for that 2 luck at the very beginning. Gives that accuracy from the get-go. But I'm not going to take it just yet. Any food item on sale we're going to take, because we can always sell it back for the same price and we have the potential to get a different food item. But right now I do want to roll quite a bit to try and find yourselves a pair of gloves, because I did kind of want to go for Falcon Blade. So I'm going to roll again. And I'm going to roll once more. And holy moly, I'm going to sell this banana, even though we could use it to grab ourselves this Fly Garrick. We're still going to have our bananas in a spot, but I did want to try to speed them up with our food items. Because right now, they went from 3.4 seconds to 3 seconds, which means they're going to trigger twice in 6 seconds instead of twice in 7 seconds, basically. So it's going to be kind of nice, actually. We get our heat that little bit faster, and our opponents does have that rainbow badge, which means they're going to get 1 of every buff. And I'm looking at these chili peppers with spicy banana, and they're going for Excalibur. It's making me a little bit jealous, because they're going to get a ton of heat, they're going to get lots of heals. But can we keep up with them? Can a Ribsaw Blade have scaled up a insane amount of DPS? Because right now it is dealing 20 DPS. And one more hit from it. Hell yeah, 38 damage. It's kind of amazing. Now take me back. Take me back to our magic staff. Should we grab this amulet? Try to get another amulet feasting? Should we grab a flying Eric? Or do we roll to try and find ourselves our Falcon Blade? Let's grab a bit of storage. Let's keep rolling. That's another Ripsaw Blade. We could go double Ripsaw Blades right now. Honestly, as much as I love to go for Falcon Blade, I think it is time to just go double Ripsaw Blade. Okay, maybe this might not be the smartest play, but it could potentially be a super fun play. Maybe. I'm also going to take this Help Up, but I'm going to reserve for Stamina Sack. And with that, I'm going to venture on. I would love to go for double Katanas, but it will mean that we're going to need to find some whetstones, which is going to be harder to find than gloves. But I did put a spicy banana over here. I did move our food items just around, just a small bit. They're going to have the same speed. But with a Ripsaw Blade, we're just going to try to remove as much damage as possible. They don't remove buffs, but they do remove a lot of skilling damage. Mainly from like something like a Molten Dagger or even that eye lamp. So we can scale up our damage and stop our opponent from skilling damage. And awesome. Now speaking of kind of crazy, that is a Happy Bomb. It's also Cap Resilience with a Dead Sigh. I think we take our leather bag. We roll again. Come on, man. Now you show up. Freaking insane. But let's take the flute for now. Let's keep rolling. And that is a wonky snowman with a ruby egg. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell this flute and I'm going to be taking our snowballs for now. But I kind of want to grab the ruby egg just because it's going to give us that heat from the get-go. Maybe actually I want to take the ruby egg and I might take ourselves an eye lamp for our other Ripsaw Blade. Because I want to get as much heat as possible and I want to go turbo speeding Ripsaw Blades for days. Just remove a lot of skilling damage. Just skill up the damage with a relic case. Reduce the stamina cost with the speed as well. But the faster we do attack with our weapons, the more stamina we're going to use up. But we're also going to keep reducing that stamina cost. Right now, double Ripsaw Blades. Actually looking kind of amazing so far. Now the question is, do we want to go heat stacking with Mr. Struggles or do we want to go life stacking with Nocturnal Locklifter? I do like this skill quite a bit. I mean, I do tend to take it quite often. But super fast lifestealing Ripsaw Blades, I mean, it's hard not to take it, right? I'm going to have to grab it. Let's grab a bit of storage. Let's grab you two. We're going to roll. And you're going to have to be taken. But I'm going to waste a little bit of golds to try and grab this. But it does give us another pineapple. Not exactly what we want either. When I think about moving on with this sort of situation, and did move our Nocturnal Locklifter over, we're going to grab our Bloody Amulet. And we'll see how we get on right now. Now we are facing a crazy looking setup. With Steel, they're going to get some empowered, they're going to inflict some golds, we're going to have lots of luck. But we should be able to get our lifesteal on our Ripsaw Blades and just remove a ton of skilling damage from our opponents. And I really want to grab this whetstone from our opponents so we can craft up some katanas. Because dual lifestealing katanas with lots of heat seems like it could be a lot of fun because we get a ton of skilling damage, we stop our opponent from skilling damage, and we also remove a ton of buffs. And that's a prismatic orb. We're going to sell this and I'm going to take this for now instead. Mainly because this has the potential to give us a ton of buffs also. But now let's get going. Well, let's definitely get going. The only problem is we do need to find ourselves some chili peppers to try and get even faster heats. Because we don't necessarily scale up as much heat as I would love to. But Banana's still putting in some decent work for us. We managed to get 12 heat. And so far, not bad. Definitely not bad. Now the thing is, we could go full body protection. I do love full body protection with some katanas because they're going to do very, very, very little damage. We just need to find ourselves a hammer, and an helmet. I mean an armor and a helmet. I'm going to take it over the other options. Let's grab a Bloody Amulet. That's another banana if we want it. I'm going to roll. And I'm going to have to roll again. That's our armor. But I do want to grab ourselves a vampiric armor. Now I'm also tempted to sell this. We're going to grab this also. But yeah, let's get going. All we need to do is find ourselves a freaking helmet then. We do start off with 10 vampirism, so we should be able to get a lot more lifesteal. And again, just keep removing that scaling damage. Our opponent is going to be inflicting a lot of debuffs on us. Especially with Poison Ivy, we're going to take a lot more damage. And that poison is going to chip us down, and we do get stunned, so we don't hit, so we do end up not lifestealing. We do end up falling short. Now it's another freaking eye lamp. Should we take it? I mean, it's 2 more heat, it's also more speed, it's also more scaling damage, I mean. I don't think you're going to take it just yet. Let's grab a bit of storage. And right now, we could craft up stone boots, but I need to roll. That's one katana we're definitely going to grab. With a paradise barb, we're also going to grab. So a lot of items I do like quite a bit here. There's no helmet. Once we get a helmet, we're going to have 0 damage taken basically. Because again, we're just going to keep removing a lot of the buffs. Just lifesteal like crazy and take very, very, very little damage. But we are facing a heat stacking type opponents. They're going to have tons of block. With hardwood, they're going to get 60 heat, which means friendly fire is going to deal quite a bit of damage. But can we still keep up with them? Because we got tons and tons of healing. And right now, it's looking neck and neck. Can we keep up? Hell yeah, we can. Just barely though. That was kind of insane. Now in terms of DPS, we do want to have a 35 DPS, but we're about to get a katana next round. In terms of heals, we do have 45 healing per second, being a Nocturnal Locklifter, Vampirism, Spicy Banana. I'll put in some work first as well, with 20 max health gains, and in terms of block, 158 block. I really do think we can make this crazier. Maybe. Let's grab a bit of storage. Let's go ahead and craft up our katana. Let's go ahead and grab a bird. Roll again. That's another prismatic orb. But yeah, it's going to have to do with this. We're going to have a bird in this spot. We're going to craft up this paradise barb. We did move our Nocturnal Locklifter over just a tiny bit. And we're going to get at least one katana online with a ribsaw blade. So it should be kind of amazing. We should be able to remove a lot of buffs then, which should be even better. But our opponents, he's rocking hard to Hellfell Hat with a Bloodthorn. Now, they don't have any crits, which is awesome for us. But again, they're also going to deal a ton of damage with that freaking Bloodthorn. And right now, since we don't remove a lot of buffs, yeah, we're going to end up losing. But once we get a katana, it should be quite awesome for us. Definitely so, especially since you sit in like this too. Now, Leap Badge is some crits. I'm going to take it. I also really want to grab this too. So I'm going to Amulet of Wells. We're going to target our Paradise Burb. We're also going to sell you too. And we need to sell our little red ruby, unfortunately, so we can go ahead and grab ourselves this prismatic orb. Right now, Paradise Barb is going to be slotted in this position. It's going to be targeting our Spicy Banana. It's going to be targeting our prismatic orb. The only problem is it's not targeting our Nocturnal Locklifter. So if we want more buffs, we kind of need it there. But if we want more lifesteal from a Nocturnal Locklifter, we kind of need it in this spot. So yeah, we're going to have to keep it here. But we should be in a pretty good spot to potentially be able to win this one out. But we should be in a pretty good spot to potentially win this one out with our Nocturnal Locklifter. We should be able to get our lifesteal on a katana along with Ribsaw Blade. And we should be able to scale up our accuracy and scale up some crits with a katana. And we're going to move everything faster with a Paradise Barb. Would also increase our heals. We're going to use up more stamina. And our opponent is also dealing a ton of damage to us. And we do win a Fallen Shards, unfortunately. And we could grab a crow if we wanted to. That's a second katana. I'm going to take that in a heartbeat. We're going to roll. It's another Paradise Barb if we want to, but right now I'm going to roll quite deep to try and find ourselves a single helmet. And forget everything I said, because that's going to be crits. A red collar, actually. We're going to sell our little bit of coats. That was there to stop our opponent from scaling up so much max life. But right now we're definitely going to craft up a red collar. Red collar is going to be so much healing that it's going to have to be done. But we are facing a Staff of Fire. Sun Armor, they're going to be rocking Friendly Fire to keep up with their heat generation. This Staff of Fire is going to deal some big old damage. They've got their own helmet to block a lot of our own damage also. But again, we remove a lot of scaling damage from the Staff of Fire, but it's still scaling up so fast. But can our Katanas really keep up? And it's kind of looking like so. And hell yeah. With the crits, this is going to be insane, by the way. Especially now that we've got our second Katana. And we got a red collar also. However, let's grab ourselves a carrot. Let's go and grab you since you're on the sill. Let's grab the stone. Let's roll once. Let's grab a bit of storage. We're going to keep rolling until we find ourselves... Actually, what the hell am I doing? This is a freaking helmet. Yeah, we're going to take this. It wasn't the helmet I was kind of looking for, but it is the helmet that we're going to be taking. Now, is there a way we can grab it right now? Potentially there would be if we wanted to sell our Amulet of Wells. We could take it right now. I mean, we would take a lot less damage. I think I gotta take it. We gotta take it, and we should be able to get some invulnerability potentially, maybe if we stack up enough mana. But I do like our whole setup the way it is right now. Dual lifestealing katanas is gonna be kinda nice, but we are facing a Chili Cheese Excalibur with Armored Feasting with the Deeper Guardian and a Manager, they're going to have quite a bit of damage reduction and they're going to scale up a lot of max life. But again, we're going to make it much tougher for our opponent to keep scaling up those buffs. Because they're going to be limited to 20 with dual super fast Katanas. It should be kind of nice. We get our vulnerability, allow us to heal back up to full, even though we're at full HP. And our opponent does have 1000 max life. But again, they're going to be limited to their buffs, even though they got tons and tons of max life. However, Deeper Guardian is literally going to give them a ton more damage reduction and just insane more buffs. But they don't really scale up too much damage. And since we got our freaking full body protection, we take a lot less damage. And this is going to be a crazy long fight. And our Katanas are dealing 240 damage. I mean, that's kind of insane, is it not? We bet out a Chili Cheese Excalibur. And in this fight, we dealt 6000 damage. That's kind of nuts. And in terms of heals, 251 heal per second. 8000 heals. Our opponent did have 2700 health gained and 2900 max health gained. Which is kind of even more insane. We had 20 max health gained. Yeah, dual Katanas looking kind of amazing. Let's grab you. Let's go ahead and grab this little bit of storage. We're going to flip this up top and then have this placed in like so too. And grab you so we can grab ourselves this, sell this, we roll again. And I really do need this bit of storage. Do we sell ourselves this snowball? I do like it quite a bit because it will stop our opponent from scaling so much damage, but adding in a chili pepper scales up our heat that we do honestly desperately need. So I'm going to sell our snowball to actually take our fanny pack. And we're going to fit our chili pepper in here so we can duplicate a lot of our heat gains. But let's roll once more. No. We'll take around sell for 6. I'm actually going to take because this fella is definitely going to play a huge part in our stamina. Definitely so. We shouldn't be able to run out of stamina as easily. Now we are facing a shield which will eat up a lot of our stamina. Especially if we scale up a little bit more heat for ourselves too. And we do got lots of healing reduction down on us. That is a huge problem for us as well. But invulnerability allows us to heal back to full. And Katanas put in some decent work once again. Not bad. Definitely not bad. Full body protection with some Katanas. Actually amazing combo. Now that's another freaking crit. If I ever seen a crit in my life, we're taking that. We're taking that and we're going to craft up this red color. We're going to grab a bit of storage. We're going to slightly move this over just a little bit. And we can't exactly take our Wolpertinger. We could also take a broccoli. If we want that as well to scale up a ton of regen for us. But I don't think we want that. We definitely want to craft up another red color. So we're going to lose out on a little bit of lifesteal. And leather armor is kind of exactly what I wanted. So we do want to grab ourselves a vampiric armor also. The only problem is vampiric armor is a lot more tougher to fit in. But we have the potential to fit it in actually. But I kind of have a setup like so. So let's go ahead and craft up vampiric armor. We still have full body protection online. It's just going to be a lot more scaling block for us. And yeah, let's save our 2 gold. Let's get our Wolpertinger in the next rounds. We did move our Amulet Feasting over to this position. We should have moved this up slightly. We are facing a corrupted armor, snowstick type situation with turbo heat stacking. So it's going to be a lot of cold on us, which could be problematic. However, we do stop him from scaling up so much heat. So we have the potential to actually put in some work for ourselves. But it's still a lot of cold on us and have removed a ton of our buffs. So right now, it's going to be a super long fight, but unfortunately, I'm going to speed up just a little bit because it's going to be going so slow. The sheer amount of cold on us is definitely going to win out. Yeah, it's just way too much for us. Super unfortunate, but it is what it is. We suffer pretty badly to cold stack on builds. Let's grab this Wolpertinger. Let's roll once. We could grab ourselves a crow. We could grab ourselves another paradise bird, but we can't really craft it up anymore. Mineki Neku, we could take Sinchon still to speed up our godly items, and I want to take that little bit of storage also. Mineki Neku is almost perfect in this spot, by the way. But it is perfect in this spot. So this is going to speed up pretty much our Paradise Burb, our Prismatic Orb, our Glowing Crowns, our Katanas, our freaking Spicy Banana if it had an effect, our Leaf Badge as well, and yeah, that's pretty much it. This is going to be our builds. This is going to be our final rounds. Is our dual Katanas going to be enough to win out? I mean, with double or red collars, we're just going to have a ton of lifesteal as long as we don't face a cold stacker build. I do think we have the good potential to win out. Now we are facing double burning blades with a turtle and a ruby chunk. They could potentially stun us also. So that could be a huge problem for us. definitely so. Since they stack up more than 12 heats, we do actually cleanse a lot of it, making it a lot tougher for our opponent to stack up that 12 heat to stop us from stunning us. But with full body protection, this ruby chunk is not going to do as much damage since it counts as a ranged and a pet damage. And yeah, should be pretty decent for us. We'll be able to get our lifesteal, our katana is going to do some big old damage. And our opponent does have a ton of block with that turtle though. This turtle is going to be going pretty darn fast at 8.4 seconds. And since they stack so much max life, it's going to get more and more block. So again, this could be a super long fight. Maybe. Now the good news is, the Burning Blades isn't going to have as much scaling damage either, because we just removed a ton of scaling damage from them. But they still got tons and tons and tons of buffs, but I mean, we heal for so much and we deal so much damage. Not bad. So we actually ended up with about 101 DPS. Our opponent's DPS was literally just, actually about 30 DPS. We did manage to reduce a lot of that damage, and with a full body protection, actually reduce a lot of that damage also. In terms of heals, we did manage about 250 healing per second, I should say. 4,600 heals in total. Again, 20 max life gains, and in terms of block, 409 block. So genuinely smashing builds. Katana becoming more and more a super favorite weapon. But hey, we did survive 2 lives left. Let's go see just how much rank points we managed to get. Plus 11, our rank is almost back up to masters once again. But anyways, I'm going to leave you here for now. Just want to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even subscribe button. And I'll just keep you looking for the next one. I'll see you next time. Okay, look, we're back in some R18 fights, and we're going to see how we can deal with some other builds. Now, we are facing a big vampiric stacking pyromancer type build. We're going to get insane amounts of vampirism, but again, we're going to make it much more difficult for our opponent to keep stacking up those buffs with our katanas. And so far, not bad. Definitely not bad. And can we deal with this crazy crossblades Deadside type build with Doom Cap, with a corrupted armor? They're going to try and inflict a lot of debuffs, but they're also going to be reducing a ton of our healing with that Doom Cap, and that's going to be a bit sad for us because 100% healing reduction is going to be super problematic. We do not heal anymore after that, but our opponents also doesn't really break through our block, and since we have invulnerability as well, it does give us time to win out. Not bad. And can we deal with this Flame Up Pumpkin Cthulhu type situation? They're going to stack up a lot of spikes, and they're going to get tons and tons of heat. But again, we're going to make it a lot tougher once again, just to keep stacking up those buffs, which is going to be kind of nice for us. And that eye lamp scaling up the damage on the Flame Up is not going to do a whole lot of damage, and not looking too bad for us. Hell yeah.